Boredar or Pronoundar, every pony. This is BronyDan. It's not original, but why are we releasing a Christmas episode in May? This is just as ridiculous as releasing the Christmas episode just before Halloween. You know, Hasbro, next time somebody says, hey, I got a great idea for a Christmas episode, you should say, well, wait until Christmas, we'll release it separately to the series. Well, doesn't matter, we've got one now, so let's take a look at A Hearth-Swarming Tale. We start off on Hearth-Swarming Eve. Hey, they're celebrating Christmas early, I might as well.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
And it seems fitting to open it with a song. I really do like this song. It does seem to capture the holiday feeling and cheesiness that you would expect from Christmas. And it's also nice to hear some singing from the main six.
Ready to celebrate your first Hearth-Swarming Eve here in Ponyville? I was thinking I might just skip it.
So it turns out that Starlight Glimmer doesn't all seem to be in the Hearth-Swarming spirit, feeling that the entire thing is now just about having and giving presents as opposed to what it originally stood for. So Twilight decides to rectify that by reading to her her favourite Hearth-Swarming story, A Hearth-Swarming Tale. How many times am I going to have to say Hearth-Swarming in this review? So the tale as we listen to it is about a unicorn called Snowfall Frost who considers Hearth-Warming to be a useless holiday, and now every pony who goes around with Hearth-Swarming on their lips should be boiled in its own pudding, and why am I getting a sense of deja vu? Yeah, as my sidetracking may have indicated, this episode is yet another retelling of A Christmas Carol, with Starlight Glimmer in the Scrooge role and Rainbow Dash in the Bob Cratchit role. I swear, if they make Scootaloo into Tiny Tim, that would make the joke perfect. But hang on, doesn't this show already have its own take on A Christmas Carol? Yeah, For Whom the Sweetie Belle Toils. I know someone will say that doesn't count because that isn't set during the holidays, but it still uses the same concept of the past, present and future, so to me it does count. Well, I guess this is a first, a show that has two different adaptations of the same story.
Hearth-Swarming Eve is a menace. A dangerous day for all of Equestria. Telling every pony that singing songs and being nice will solve anything. I've spent years studying magic, and that's not how it works.
I think you might be missing the point.
Work hard, learn, and use your skills to better Equestria. That's a worthy goal for any pony.
A worthy goal for me would be wondering why you two are dressed differently from the other mares. I know they're supposed to represent the characters from the book, but when you have the other mares wearing traditional Victorian gowns, it just seems odd. Wouldn't it make more sense if Starlight was wearing this? At least she'd get to keep the top hat.
I hate Hearth-Swarming Eve. All of Equestria would be better off if we just skipped the day altogether.
So now we seem to be going from A Christmas Carol to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. There really is no hiding that, as the next song that is sung is how Snowfall plans to take the concept of stealing Hearth-Swarming a step further by pretty much erasing it completely.
Goodbye, Hearth-Swarming, you had a good run. Goodbye, Hearth-Swarming, it's over, you're done.
And maybe it's the musical buff within me, but does anyone else think the music in this song sounds like something you would hear in chess?
And so he asked the wisest man he knew the way to lessen her distress.
They told him he'd be pretty certain to impress by using model soldiers on a checkered board to show it was his brother small.
They thus invented chess.
But of course, if you know the story, actually there is no if in this case. We see the arrival of the ghost of Hearth-Swarming Past, played by Applejack, who takes Snowfall back to the past via another song to help move the story along, and to show how Snowfall began to despise Hearth-Swarming with influence by Professor Snape? Why did you have to die, Alan?
You said you wanted to learn to be a powerful unicorn, did you not?
I do.
Real magic takes time to learn. It's your choice. Spend your time learning to become a powerful unicorn, or play with your toys and make nothing of yourself.
Now let us continue with your studies, Miss Frost. Turn to page 394. So immediately we see the arrival of the ghost of Hearthswarming present, naturally played by Pinkie Pie. And of course we get another song.
Sometimes the most important things aren't very big at all.
This review is getting quite difficult to do all of a sudden because I'm finding it hard to critically talk about this. Which is quite weird because I did not have this problem with Crusaders of the Lost Mark, and yet I'm finding it hard to actually analyze what's going on here. Well, may as well get over to the ghost of Hearthswarming Future, played by Princess Luna. Perfect casting. She shows Snowfall what will happen in the future if she does cast the spell to erase the holiday, which convinces Snowfall to mend her ways, and I think they kind of missed the point of the story here. Snowfall is very villainous in her actions, but the thing that needs to be remembered is that Scrooge really wasn't. He was just a cold man who had no affection for Christmas. And we are also shown how his actions affect those who are close to him, not in an emotional sense, but people who know him best, like Bob Cratchit. His redemption was how he could better himself to his fellow man, thus making him a more sympathetic character. We don't really get that with Snowfall. It just feels like she was scared into not casting the spell because of the consequences it would cause. How exactly does this make her change as a character? Okay, so this does seem to be a bit of a problem with this episode's message, but still, I think it's a good episode. Ignoring the ridiculous placement of the episode and the rather rushed pacing, I really enjoyed this. It isn't going to stand out as one of the best adaptations of A Christmas Carol, but I could see their hearts were in the right place. The songs were once again incredibly catchy, it's just that pacing issue. Fortunately, my friend and fellow reviewer Huey Toonmore did come up with his own theory to fix this. What if Twilight was the author? Maybe when Starlight says she doesn't celebrate Hearthswarming, Twilight quickly writes up the story, basing the characters off her friends, and reads it to Starlight to teach her a lesson. It would also explain this gag.
And the reason is to be with your friends. And the reason is to be with your friends.
And why the pacing is so rushed, because she didn't have time to edit it. Are we gripping at straws? Possibly, but it is fun to speculate these things. Well, this is BronyDan saying... Wait, hang on. What day does this review go up? Hang on. Holy shit! I'm 22!
Happy birthday, now you're 1 year older. Happy birthday, your life still isn't over. Happy birthday, you did not accomplish much, but you didn't die this year, I guess that's good enough.